we have rights if there is no creator? The Declaration of Independence says we are endowed by our Creator with certain inalienable rights. That is the right of life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. So if there is no God, then we have no rights. We have privileges given to us by the state. The state gives us rights. If the state gives you rights or privileges, then the state can take those privileges away. Right? Like they say, driving is a privilege, not a right, which means they have the ability to take your license. Okay, fair enough. But that also means they have the ability to take your rights, your freedom of speech, your freedom of religion, your right to keep and bear arms, your right to remain silent, your right to due process, the right to be secure in your persons and your papers. All of those can be taken away like that. So what are you supposed to do? You're supposed to go to the politician. Oh, Mr. or Miss Politician, please grant me this right, this privilege. Please don't take my privileges away from me. Because if there's nothing higher than the state, if there's no intelligence in the universe, then how do you keep your rights? Communism, which is atheism, has killed more people than religion ever could. And yes, I know a lot of people have died for religion because one religion was oppressing another religion. But communism has killed its own people, either by starvation or just by outright murder. And they justify doing so because your rights come from the government. And if the government decides to take your rights away, then by God, they're going to take them away. So you better understand where your rights come from. You better understand that if there is no creator, you do not have inalienable rights. And they can be taken from you. My rights were given to me when I was still in the womb. And so were yours, by the way, whether you want to believe that or not. The state doesn't want you to believe that. The state wants you to believe that it gives you your rights and their privileges, and they can be taken away. Not all. There are people in government who believe that there is a creator. They're not all like that, but too many of them are. And too many people believe it. Because if there's no God, then all there was an evolutionary process, and I am nothing more than bones and flesh and protoplasm and organs, and that's all I am. I'm no different than the animals. I'm no different than a squirrel. I'm no different than a cow. We can eat a cow. But I'm no different than a cow. I'm, like I said, I'm nothing more than an evolutionary process. I'm the result of that. I have nothing but privileges. I have no rights because I'm no different than a fish. Except I have the ability to think and reason. Where did that come from? We have cells in our bodies that we are discovering now are so intricate that there is no way they just happen. We have a DNA structure that is so complex. We found it in the 50s and we're still studying it. Yet certain people want you to believe that we are nothing but, an act of an evolutionary process, and therefore we have nothing but privileges granted to us. Again, they can be taken away. So what do you do with that? That's a very dangerous thing. Now, I'm not saying that you can't be an atheist and believe in rights and freedoms. There are atheist libertarians out there. But if you're an atheist libertarian, where do you think those rights came from? And how do you protect those rights? How can you say, you cannot take my freedom of speech away from me, or my freedom of religion, or my right to keep and bear arms, or my right to due process? How do you say, you cannot take that away from me? If there's nothing above the state. I'm not saying you have to be a Christian. All I'm saying is you need to understand the importance of believing in something higher than the state. An intelligence that created man to be who we are. Anyway, that's all I have to say about it for now.